Hyun and Son Ye-jin from fiction to forever. Some love stories are written by screenwriters, but Hyun and Son Ye-jin became proof that sometimes the best stories write themselves. Their first meeting on the set of The Negotiation didn't even place them in the same room. They filmed most scenes separately, standing on opposite sides of a screen. And yet, even through the cold distance of the narrative, there was a spark. Small, quiet, but unmistakable. The kind of spark that only appears between two people destined to cross paths again. Then came Crash Landing on You. What the world saw as a drama about a North Korean soldier and a South Korean heiress was, in truth, the birth of something far more powerful. Their on-screen chemistry wasn't just convincing, it felt alive, as if the camera had accidentally captured something real, blooming between takes. In the stolen glances, the gentle hand touches, the almost whispers, something shifted. Their characters fell in love, yes, but somewhere along the storyline, Hyun and Son Ye-jin did too. Fast forward to 2022. They stood together, not as fictional lovers, but as two people who had walked through years of fame, pressure, and expectations, and still found each other at the center of it all. Their wedding wasn't extravagant because of its scale. It was beautiful because of what it symbolized, a love born under the spotlight, yet strong enough to survive outside of it. Later in the same year, they welcomed their baby boy, completing a chapter that fans around the world had secretly hoped for. Their story is more than celebrity romance. It is the reminder that fate doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes it whispers, and two people who are meant to be will hear it anyway. Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah. Love that stayed through the dark. Some couples shine brightest under the spotlight, but Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah proved their love shines strongest in the dark. They began dating in 2015, surprising the public with how perfectly matched they seemed. Both breathtakingly charismatic, both top-tier models turned actors, both elegant in their own ways. People called them Korea's visual couple. But beauty was never the center of their story. Loyalty was. In 2017, when Kim Woo-bin was diagnosed with nasopharyngeal cancer, the world watched a love story face its ultimate test. Overnight, photo shoots, red carpets, and fame no longer mattered. What mattered was survival, healing, and the quiet, unseen moments between the two of them. And Shin Min-ah stayed. She didn't leave his side, didn't hide, didn't step back from the relationship. She became his anchor, visiting him during treatment, protecting his privacy, and offering a stability that spoke louder than any grand gesture ever could. When Kim Woo-bin recovered and slowly returned to acting, he returned not as a lone figure, but as a man supported by a love deep enough to weather life's darkest chapters. They are not married yet, nor do they have children, but their bond is already one of the strongest in Korean entertainment. The public doesn't just admire their beauty, they admire their commitment. Some love stories are loud, but theirs, it's quiet, steady, and real. The kind of love that proves devotion is not measured by words, but by presence. Lee Byung and Lee Min-jung through storms and light. Not every love story is gentle. Some are forged through storms, strengthened, weathered, and ultimately made unbreakable. Lee Byung and Lee Min-jung are one of those rare couples whose journey was never smooth, but always sincere. They first dated in the late 2000s, but timing wasn't on their side. They separated, tried again, stepped back once more, as if life was testing their sincerity, asking them repeatedly, "Are you sure you want to choose each other?" But they did. And in 2013, they married in one of the most meaningful ceremonies in K-drama history. Elegant, mature, full of two people who knew exactly what they were walking into. Life after marriage wasn't perfect. They faced public scrutiny, controversies, and emotional trials that could have shattered a weaker bond. But instead of walking away, they stood closer. Instead of blaming, they rebuilt. Their love didn't grow in silence. It grew in adversity. In 2015, their first child, a son, was born, a new beginning after a difficult chapter. And in 2023, they welcomed a daughter, a symbolic sign that the family they fought to protect had only become stronger. Their love story is not a fantasy. It is real, flawed, vulnerable, resilient. A reminder that true love isn't about perfection, but about choosing someone again and again, even when the world is watching. Tae Young and Eugene, a destiny written twice. Some relationships feel like coincidences, but Tae Young and Eugene feel like fate, quietly crafted, gently revealed, beautifully fulfilled. They met while filming Creating Destiny. Ironically, the title wasn't just a name, it was a prophecy. On screen, they played a couple brought together by fate. Off-screen, something tender began to grow, slowly, naturally, without the drama often seen in celebrity romances. Eugene, the beloved first-generation K-pop queen, was the picture of elegance and charm. Tae Young, calm, thoughtful, sincere, was the grounding presence that complemented her perfectly. When they confirmed their relationship, public reaction was immediate and unanimous. They're perfect for each other. In 2011, they married in a simple, heartfelt ceremony. No scandals, no theatrics, just two people choosing a quiet kind of forever. Their family grew with the arrival of two daughters. Rohi, 2015, who captured hearts nationwide on Superman Returns. Lauren, 2018, soft and gentle like a spring morning. Their marriage is not loud, not controversial, not dramatic. It is steady, warm, and incredibly rare. A true example of what a grounded, respectful partnership can look like inside an industry full of noise. Eugene and Tae Young prove that you don't need grand gestures to make a great love story. Sometimes destiny is quiet, sometimes it simply waits for the right two people to notice each other. Jisung and Byung, a love built on patience and respect. Some relationships begin with fireworks. But Jisung and Byung built theirs with something deeper: patience. They met on the set of Save the Last Dance for Me in 2004. At the time, they weren't the power couple we know today. They were simply two actors who admired each other's craft. While other pairings sparked quickly and burned out just as fast, theirs grew slowly, thoughtfully, like a promise whispered rather than shouted. Jisung fell for her first, quietly, wholeheartedly. He once admitted that he waited, hoping she would see what he saw: a future where they supported each other, not just as actors, but as partners. It worked. Their love deepened through late-night conversations, long-distance filming schedules, and the quiet trust that only true commitment can build. They dated for 6 steady years, no scandals, no dramatics. In 2013, they married in a wedding that radiated sincerity, not spectacle. Byung walked down the aisle with the calm confidence of someone who knew she was walking toward her best friend. Their family blossomed with 2 children, a daughter in 2015, a son in 2019. Despite their fame, they keep their private life protected, creating a safe, warm haven away from the cameras. When Jisung wins awards, he thanks her first. When Byung takes on challenging roles, he supports her unconditionally. Their story isn't dramatic, and that is exactly what makes it beautiful. They are proof that real love isn't rushed. It is built, one day, one word, one choice at a time. Young and Park Ha-sun. Love that found its way naturally. Some love stories don't begin with sparks. Some begin with familiarity, the kind that grows so quietly, you only notice it when it's already become something essential. That's how love found Young and Park Ha-sun. They met while filming 2 weeks, but no one watching them then could have guessed what would come later. Their connection wasn't dramatic or explosive, it was gentle, subtle. Like a friendship that accidentally turned into something deeper. Over time, Park Ha-sun grew to admire Young's warmth and sincerity, and he found comfort in her calmness and humor. Their personalities fit together like missing puzzle pieces, not identical, but perfectly complementary. In 2017, they married in a small, private ceremony, soft, elegant, and meaningful. There were no flashing cameras, no flashy headlines, just 2 people making a promise at their own pace. Later that year, they welcomed their daughter, a joyful, grounding presence that completed their little family. Park Ha-sun often says that meeting Young was meeting someone who feels like home. And he says that marriage helped him become a better man. Their story is proof that love doesn't always begin with intensity. Sometimes it begins with familiarity. Sometimes the person you're meant to love is the one who makes life feel effortless. Choi Tae-joon and Park Shin-hye, a modern fairy tale. In an industry where relationships rarely survive the spotlight, Choi Tae-joon and Park Shin-hye created a modern fairy tale, one built on loyalty, privacy, and quiet devotion. They first crossed paths as university students at Chungong University, long before fame shaped their futures. Over the years, their orbits kept intersecting. Dramas, variety shows, mutual friends, but nothing pushed them together just yet. Until, one day, it did. Their relationship began privately, far from the cameras, not because they were afraid, but because they wanted something real, something protected. And when the news finally broke, fans were surprised, but overwhelmingly supportive. Park Shin-hye, one of Korea's most beloved actresses, known for her warm personality and global popularity. Choi Tae-joon, the soft-spoken, loyal actor whose sincerity won her heart. In 2022, they held their wedding. Intimate, beautiful, filled with celebrities and blessings. Images of the ceremony spread across the internet instantly, praised as one of the most elegant weddings of the year. Just months later, they welcomed their baby boy, turning their love story into a family story. Choi Tae-joon once said, "She is someone I want to protect for the rest of my life." And Park Shin-hye's smile, when she talks about her husband, says everything words can't. Their fairy tale isn't extravagant, it's real, private, steady. A reminder that even in the entertainment industry where love is rare and fragile, some hearts still find their way home. An Jae-hyun and Gu Hae-sun, a love that captivated, then broke hearts. Not every love story ends the way we want. Some begin like a dream and end as a lesson, and An Jae-hyun and Gu Hae-sun lived one of the most talked about journeys in K-drama history. They met on the set of Blood in 2015. Their chemistry was immediate, gentle, sweet, almost naive in its purity. Fans adored the idea of two beautiful, delicate personalities falling in love. And for a while, it was exactly that. A fairy tale. In 2016, they married quickly and passionately. Their home became a place of quirky posts, cute photos, and public displays of affection that made people smile. It felt like watching a romance drama unfold in real life. But love is fragile. And sometimes what looks perfect on the outside carries quiet cracks on the inside. By 2019, the cracks had widened into a storm. Accusations, arguments, and emotional outbursts filled the headlines. Private struggles became public conflict, and the fairy tale that once dazzled Korea slowly collapsed under the weight of misunderstandings and pain. By 2020, their divorce was finalized. No children, just memories, some beautiful, some difficult. Their story is not a tragedy. It is a reminder that love can begin sincerely, but sincerity alone cannot guarantee forever. Sometimes two people are meant to meet, meant to love, meant to grow, but not meant to stay. Lee Sang-woo and Kim So-yeon, love between two quiet souls. In a world where the loudest couples get the most attention, Lee Sang-woo and Kim So-yeon are the quiet miracle. Proof that calm love can be the strongest love of all. They met on the set of Happy Home in 2016. There were no sparks, no rumors, no instant headlines, just two kind-hearted, introverted people who found comfort in each other's presence. Their personalities matched so naturally that co-workers described them as peaceful together. Their relationship grew not through drama, but through sincerity. They talked, they laughed softly, they supported each other's emotional worlds. In 2017, they married in a simple ceremony, understated, elegant, deeply intimate. No spectacle, no fanfare. They didn't need the world to witness their love. They only needed each other. To this day, they remain one of the most stable and respected couples in the industry. They have no children yet, but they have a home filled with warmth, the kind that doesn't need to be shown on social media to be real. Their love is the kind that makes life quieter, safer, gentler. A reminder that not all great romances are loud. Some are soft, and that softness is its own kind of strength. Jung Kyung-ho and Choi Si-young, love that grew with time. Some love stories burn fast and fade quickly. But Jung Kyung-ho and Soo-young's story is the exact opposite. A slow bloom turned into a decade-long devotion. They began dating in 2013, long before many of today's K-drama stars even debuted. At first, the public didn't believe it. The idea of a girl's generation idol and a rising actor dating privately seemed too unexpected, too fragile to be true. But it was true. And it only grew stronger with time. For over 10 years, they've remained unwaveringly committed despite demanding careers, busy schedules, and constant media attention. Their relationship is stable, not because they flaunt it, but because they respect it enough to keep it private. Soo-young often says Jung Kyung-ho is her biggest supporter. and he proudly claims she is his inspiration. They are not married yet. They have no children. But they have something equally rare: longevity in an industry where relationships often dissolve under pressure. Their story is not about rushing into the next chapter. It is about choosing each other again and again, year after year, as they both grow, as individuals and as a pair. Sometimes the strongest love is the one that matures quietly, without spectacle, without urgency. And after a decade together, one thing is clear: whatever their future holds, they will face it side by side.